Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World Daily with me, John Jordan. So pretty big news coming from the SORARE team today. They've just raised a $50 million Series A financing round. So actually it wasn't that long ago, the end of last year, end of 2020, that they raised their first kind of seed round. They've done a pre-seed and they've done a seed. So they'd raised getting on for $10 million up to this point. But just as NFTs have taken off, exploded in 2021, you can't really believe how fast they've gone. Then obviously that's the time to raise money. You raise money when you can raise money. when you're the hottest thing in the world and VCs are throwing money at you, that's when you raise as much money as you can, roughly speaking. So SORARE raised 50 million for a Series A, and considering the size of their company, that is pretty big. They're working effectively on a blockchain, an NFT game. Quite what they need $50 million for. It's hard to know how they're going to spend that, and in a sense they don't need to spend it. That's their roadmap. That's their runway for the next kind of couple of years if they need it. But effectively now probably they do need to do some. They need to make sure they've got a product that can scale. And at the moment, SORARE doesn't have that many users. Has a few thousand users, and it needs to basically scale quickly. Pretty much get on it runs on Ethereum at the moment. It needs to get on a layer 2 solution, really, I think, for trading, because gas fees are through the roof. And then it needs to start marketing really hard, and it needs to get the English Premier League on board, which only has Liverpool and West Ham from the English Premier League at the moment. So it needs to do that quickly, and that's why it needs that money. It can now throw money at Manchester City to get them on board. So a bit of a waffly sort of thing from the CEO. He's a nice guy, Nicholas, but there he goes. He's justifying what he's doing. There's him. There's the two founders. So I guess what's interesting about the funding round is that Benchmark Capital are the lead funder. Benchmark, I mean, there's lots of VC companies that we know are pretty famous. Benchmark are one of the particularly well-known ones certainly in the game space. They back people like League of Legends, Riot Games, that sort of stuff. They're very active. As we can see here, also they've backed a few other kind of little companies in the kind of consumer software space, so Twitter, Snap, Instagram, Discord. But they've done actually quite a lot of stuff with the game space. I guess that's more interesting from that point of view. Who else do we have involved? Well, kind of interesting again that we're kind of seeing this increasingly, that these wealthy kind of individuals in the particular kind of sports are investing now. So actually, SORARE had done a deal with what's his name? I can't remember his name now. PK from Barcelona. Had already invested and come on board as a strategic advisor. That was the end of last year. I think early this year, perhaps even. But now, with the success, I think, particularly of NBA Top Shot, the basketball game, basketball NFT kind of product in the States, where lots of basketball players have started investing. We're now seeing footballers who are obviously equally highly paid. Got tens of millions of dollars in value. And they are starting to investing. So we have Anton Griezmann, who I think, if I get it right, is he at Barcelona? Rio Ferdinand, the old Manchester United player and pundit now. He's done other investments. He had a restaurant actually in Manchester. Oliver Bernhoft, I think he's a German player. Alexei, he's the founder of Reddit. And various people like that. So, but basically, a whole bunch of rich people stacking their money into SORARE. So what they're going to do, as I say, they're going to hire a world-class team. So a whole bunch of that money is going to go into hiring into salaries, because they can. At the moment, they have a few people. They're a bit of a startup, I think. They've got some good people there, but they, now they can offer the salaries and the kind of long-term goals and performance salaries that people expect. This is pretty important. So they do have a lot of football leagues. Actually, SORARE has been brilliant at getting a lot of football leagues on board. But as I say, the Premier League is the big one that's missing, and a mobile application. This is a game. It's not a complex game at the moment. At least you buy some cards. These footballers have cards. You put 5 of them together. And then you kind of play games against each other. And obviously the cards have stats, and that's how it's worked out. I think they'll go into something more complicated than that in the future. But at the moment, they're just doing 5 cards to make it easy for people to get involved and not too expensive to play. And that's going to work much better on mobile. So I think mobile is the place for these sort of games to go to reach the widest audience, obviously. So that's what they're going to do. So it's pretty cool. I don't think we have to go through anything else here. They're hiring only 12 people now, and now they've got they've got $4 million per per person. No, not really. So they've got to spend that and scale it out, and this will be really interesting to see. Certainly over the next, we expect over the next 6 months, 3 months really to 6 months to see SORARE really jet fueling its way through what's going to be a very interesting year for NFT based games, and particularly it seems that kind of fantasy sport, which has a very strong existing user base, as that moves onto the blockchain with ownership of NFTs. Obviously we're going to see, we've got basketball and football, we're going to see all sports doing a similar thing, and we're going to see, I think, a lot of hype around that. So good luck with that. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Blockchain Gaming World Daily, where we got our nose to the grindstone of what's going on in the news cycle of mobile games, blockchain games, I should say. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and see you again soon.